So today we're going to talk about a whole new way to get renewable energy, but without all the usual headaches like installation or massive upfront costs. And what's really interesting is that it's all powered by a technology you've probably heard of, just maybe not in this context, the blockchain.
All right, so let's just start with the problem that I'm sure a lot of you have thought about. You really want to go green, you love the idea of solar power, but you just can't physically put panels on your roof. So what are your options?
For most of us, that's kind of where the dream stops, right? Maybe you're renting, or you live in an apartment, maybe your building is historic and has all these strict rules, or, let's be honest, maybe the $10,000 plus price tag is just a little too steep. And on top of all that, you're pretty much locked out of investing in those huge utility-scale solar farms. Those are usually just for the big corporate players. These are real, everyday barriers for a lot of people.
But what if you could just sidestep all of those problems? I mean, imagine owning a little piece of a massive, professionally managed solar or wind farm somewhere else and getting all the benefits sent straight to your electricity bill. Well, that's exactly what we're diving into first, this idea of owning a piece of the sun.
And this isn't just a hypothetical. It's exactly what Europe's largest energy company, Enel, is doing right now in Italy. They've teamed up with a fintech company called Conio to launch a program they're calling ebitts, and its whole goal is to completely change how we get and own green energy.
So the key technology that makes all of this work is something called asset tokenization. Now I know, that sounds super technical, but the idea is actually pretty simple. You're basically taking the rights to a real-world thing, in this case a solar panel, and turning it into a digital token on a blockchain. A good way to think about it is like buying a single share of a company. You don't own the whole building, right? But you own a piece of it, and you get a share of the profits. Here, the asset isn't a company. It's a physical solar panel, and your share is a super secure digital token.
Okay, so you have a token. Great. But how does that actually make your electricity bill go down? This is where the magic really happens, and it's all managed on the Algorand blockchain using a pretty clever two-token system. So let's break down exactly how it works.
So first, you get what's called an ownership token. Think of this as your digital deed. It's the proof that says, hey, you own the specific fraction of a power plant. Then, as your little slice of that plant actually generates electricity, the system automatically sends you a second kind of token, an energy token. And that token represents the actual kilowatt hours your share produced. And you know, what's really crucial here is the philosophy behind the whole thing. The CEO of Conio, Christian McCauley, said it perfectly. The user doesn't need to understand any of this tech stuff. All the complicated blockchain and crypto business is happening completely in the background. The goal was to make it just as easy as using any other app on your phone.
So, how does this all come together to actually benefit you? Well, you're not just buying some digital thingy, you are effectively investing in your own virtual power plant that generates real value for you 24/7.
I mean, when you put the old way and the new way side by side, the difference is just stark. With traditional panels, you've got the high costs, the mess of installation, and you're on the hook for all the maintenance. And if you move, too bad, the panels stay there. But with ebitts, the cost to get started is low, there's zero installation, everything's managed for you by the pros at Enel, and get this, if you move, your ownership and your benefits just move right along with you.
And the payoffs are really direct. Every single hour the energy your tokens produce is used to knock down your home's electricity usage, which lowers your bill. If your share makes more energy than you're using, say while you're out at work, you actually get credited for that extra power. You never have to think about cleaning panels or calling a repairman. Enel manages all of it. And you can watch the whole thing happen in real time, right there on the app.
Now, check this out. Another really powerful feature is that you can actually customize your energy mix. You're not just stuck with one thing. You can create a blend, like this example here with mostly solar and a little bit of wind. And this is so smart because it gives you more consistent energy production. The sun does its thing during the day, and the wind can pick up the slack at night. It creates a much more reliable virtual power plant.
And here's a feature that I thought was just incredibly cool. The benefits aren't just for you. A single purchase, what they call a token box, can be split across 3 different households. So you could share the savings with your parents or your kid who's away at college, as long as they're also Enel customers. That's pretty amazing.
Okay, so let's zoom out for a second, because this whole concept goes way, way beyond just electricity bills. This project isn't just a new product, it's really a potential blueprint for the entire future of how we own things.
This table really shows you the massive shift that's happening. I mean, for so long, the system for investing in big things like infrastructure has been super exclusive, incredibly expensive, and you never really knew what was going on.
Tokenization just flips all of that on its head. It democratizes it, opening the door for everyday people. It makes ownership affordable because you can buy tiny fractions. Every single transaction is recorded on the blockchain, so it's totally transparent. And finally, it turns a rigid physical thing into a flexible, mobile asset that isn't stuck in one place.
And that really leaves us with a final thought. This model proves that blockchain can solve real-world problems for regular people in a way that's simple and easy to use. So if you can own a fraction of a wind farm in a totally different part of the country, what else could you own? A piece of a skyscraper in a big city? A single brushstroke of a famous painting? The possibilities are really just starting to open up.